Is your brain empty? Like, you sit down to make something and there's just nothing there. No direction, no new ideas. And when your business is dependent upon you being creative, that is such a scary place to be. Well, I've been going through that recently, and if I'm being honest, it's been that way for months. So instead of waiting for it to pass, I started paying attention to the things that were actually helping me break through that creative block. So if you're stuck too, stick around because I am going to share with you 7 things that you can do to help you break through that creative block. Starting with the most effective one. Number 1 is clean your space. We are starting here because this is the one that has the biggest impact, and it's the one that we often avoid the most or put off doing the longest. If your space is cluttered, your brain is cluttered. That is just how it works, unfortunately. And at the end of last year, I had done 26 art markets, most of them by myself. I had done a 12 Days of Christmas series, and I had had one of the busiest fall seasons I had ever had. And I've got to be honest with you, my shop was an absolute disaster. And I'm not talking about like little messes here and there. I am talking about huge scrap piles that took me hours to burn in the fire pit. I had random offcuts laying everywhere, unfinished projects, tools that didn't really have a home, materials were just stacked everywhere. And I was having to like step over things just coming into the shop. And that left me feeling a bit unsettled, and I just didn't even want to come into the shop, let alone create anything. So it was time to tackle the beast, and I spent the better part of a week, maybe even 2, getting organized, relocating things, making my workflows more efficient, getting rid of scraps. Like I said, it took me a while to burn those in the fire pit. I got rid of old materials, things I just didn't use anymore. And you know what? I started feeling lighter, like physically lighter. It was a physical shift, and it was wonderful. When your space feels heavy, you don't want to create in that space. And the difference for me was almost immediate. My brain could breathe, and little sparks of creativity started igniting again. I didn't feel overwhelmed when I walked into the shop anymore. I could just walk in and get started on a project without having to wade through a minefield or searching for the things that I needed to get started on a project. It's amazing what a clean space can do for your imagination. Number 2 is solve a problem. If you are stuck creatively, look around your space, your workshop, your house, your office, and solve a problem. Find something that's not really working, something that's not as efficient as it could be, or something that annoys you or slows you down, and then fix it. Or you could do like I did and find an eyesore that's just been really bugging you. So this is my CNC machine, and I recently rebuilt the table that it's on because I usually have a water-cooled spindle in the CNC, and it has a water bucket and water lines that need to run to it. And I'll see if I can find a picture, but my old table had like a second tier to it. And that's where I had the water bucket and all of the water lines running to it. And so that worked out really well. But from an aesthetic standpoint, it did not work out because I had this huge monstrosity right in the middle of my shop. I couldn't see from one side of the shop to the other. And it was just so frustrating for me. And so enough was enough. So I rebuilt the table, took all that down. I reran the water bucket and the water lines under the table so they were out of sight. And now I can see clearly from one side of the shop to the other. And I didn't realize how much of a problem it really was until I fixed this problem, because it didn't matter how clean the shop was, how uncluttered things were. It always felt like there was just something towering over me because I had this huge, second tier on this table, and it was right in the middle of the shop. It cut the shop in half, and it wasn't working. So once I solved that problem, it made such a world of difference. And so when you are solving a problem, you're not necessarily trying to be creative, but in that process, little bits of imagination and creativity can pop into those scenarios when you are fixing a problem, because you're having to kind of think outside the box on what's not working. You've already defined the problem, but now you have to figure out how to fix it in a way that is impactful and meaningful to you. So if you're stuck creatively, try to solve a problem, and you'd be surprised how quickly those little sparks of imagination might start coming back. Number 3 is to create something, anything, but remove the pressure. So even when you have direction, a lot of people sometimes just don't start because everything needs to matter. It needs to be sellable. It needs to be giftable. It needs to be worth making, or it has to turn into some sort of content. And that can stop you completely in your tracks. So just remove the pressure. Easier said than done, right? Grab a scrap piece, test a new material or a new technique you've been wanting to try. And the goal here is really just to create something. It doesn't have to be a product. It's just to start that movement. And once you start moving, it's way easier to just keep going. Now, I had a friend call me up recently and she said, I need you to make 5 signs for me. And she gave me a little bit of direction, but allowed, kind of left it open-ended for me to apply my creative spin. And I felt like I was in a tough spot because my creative juices had completely run dry. And so I started with the easiest sign. It was like the Smiths or something. It was, super easy, very basic. So I started with that one. And I found that once I started that process, the next sign, which required a little bit more creativity, was much easier to design, and it started coming to me more naturally, and I was able to move through those signs with more joy and more speed because I had just started. So when you're stuck creatively, just take a minute to make something. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be totally small. It can just be a prototype. But that simple act of doing, that motion can create the momentum you need to break through that creative block. All right, number 4, and this is a big one, you need to reduce your options. Now, this can be one of the biggest culprits of a creative block, believe it or not. It's not a lack of ideas, it's too many ideas, too many materials, too many directions, too many possibilities, and you just get overwhelmed and you get frozen. Now, as makers, we have a tendency to want to try it all and make it all. You've got different woods, different acrylics, different ideas, saved ideas, pinned ideas, screenshots, lists, unfinished projects. You name it, we've got it, right? So we also have a stack of new materials that we're wanting to try. Now, I've got to know, how many of you have a stack of things you bought on Amazon or from a supplier, and they've been sitting there unopened because you either don't have the time to make something or you've lost your inspiration? Please let me know in the comments that I am not the only one who has this issue. So when you have abundance, every time you walk into your shop, your brain has to decide, what do I even do? And that decision alone can be so exhausting day after day. So just take the options away. Pick one material, one type of product, one direction, one theme. That's it. Now you're not having to decide between 1,000 different directions. You are just executing. So when you remove your options, you are creating constraints, and constraints can create clarity, and clarity is what gets you moving. So I recently bought some new materials, and this week I am taking some of those materials. I'm actually limiting myself to just 2 sheets of acrylic, and I am going to make designs from those 2 sheets and focus simply on those. I have a ton of materials, but all of the rest can wait for a future project. I don't have to use them all today. So when you're stuck, giving yourself some parameters to work within can really help you get moving and remove that creative block. Number 5 is to change your inputs. If all you're looking at is the same kind of work, your ideas are going to start feeling stale. You're feeding your brain the same inputs over and over again. So of course, nothing new is going to come out. So you have to change where you're getting your inspiration. Now, I know it's tempting to go on Pinterest or Etsy or Google, but leave the doom scrolling behind and look around you, like physically around you. When you're out and about, what are you noticing? Are there color combinations you're seeing that are on trend? What kind of textures are you noticing over and over and over? Pay attention to how things are made, not just what they are. So you can also check out some designs in other niches. There have been so many times when I've seen something made from another medium, and I've often wondered to myself, how can I recreate the item out of wood or maybe acrylic or even leatherette, for example? So figuring out how to re-engineer something out of a new material is a great way to get back into your creative zone. Number 6 is to change your environment. Now, if nothing in your environment changes, then nothing in your thinking can change. So if you're stuck while you're in your shop, then get out, go for a walk. Now, when you do, make sure you bring a notebook so that you can jot down some ideas or sketch some things. So you want to give yourself some space without any sort of distractions. And the key here is no phone, no scrolling, no noise. You want to give yourself and your brain some space to reset because your brain's probably on overload. So give it some space. Notice what's around you. It is amazing the kinds of things you can find in nature to just, spark that inspiration. So take a day away from the shop. Quite honestly, I ended up taking like a week or so away from the shop. So when you do that, like I said, you give your brain some space. You want to jot down some ideas, maybe a few sketches, and then you will come back to your shop feeling more refreshed. And there's a car driving by. Hello. So anyway, you're going to feel more refreshed and you'll probably have at least a handful of ideas that you can at least try, and that will help you get your creative juices flowing again. All right, and number 7, this one can be risky depending on how you do it. So you want to give yourself a deadline. If there's no sense of urgency or no reason to act, you probably won't, at least not as quickly as you would if you had a deadline. So if you don't have a concrete deadline, just make one up. Give yourself one. So for example, you can say, I am going to create 5 prototypes by the end of this week. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be polished. They just have to be finished. So deadlines force decisions. They force you to stop overthinking, which is where a lot of the creative block issues come from. So now, giving myself a deadline, this is something that I did to help me get over the hump. Now, I can't reveal too much just yet. I've got more information coming soon, but I am gearing up for something big and a little scary in the next couple of months, and that forced me to get designing and get to creating. Now, I am not in any way saying that you should go out and do something completely out of your comfort zone like I've done, but creating a sense of urgency in some way can help you push through that creative block. Creative block really isn't about a lack of creativity, it's about friction. Too much noise, too many options, no clear direction, no urgency. And if you fix even one of these, you will start generating ideas again. So if you're stuck right now, pick one of these and do it. If you got value from this video, like, subscribe, you know all the things, and I will see you on the next one.